The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. The mother of the sons of Zebedee approached Jesus with her sons and did him homage, wishing to ask him for something. He said to her, "What do you wish?" She answered him, "Command that these 2 sons of mine sit, one at your right and the other at your left in your kingdom." Jesus said in reply, "You do not know what you are asking. Can you drink the chalice that I am going to drink?" They said to him, "We can." He replied, "My chalice you will indeed drink, but to sit at my right and at my left, this is not mine to give, but it is for those for whom it has been prepared by my Father." When the 10 heard this, they became indignant at the 2 brothers. But Jesus summoned them and said, "You know that the rulers of the Gentiles lord it over them, and the great ones make their authority over them felt. But it shall not be so among you. Rather, whoever wishes to be great among you shall be your servant. Whoever wishes to be first among you shall be your slave. Just so, the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve, and to give his life as a ransom for many." The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
This whole scene of the mother of James and John, asking that our Lord, or that her boys sit one at our Lord's left and the other at his right, and him saying, "You do not know what you're asking," and Jesus saying, "Can you drink the cup I'm going to drink? Can you be baptized with the baptism I'm going to be baptized?" And they say, "We can," and I just kind of think of that. If I were to describe it, I'd call it just like youthful zeal, bring it, but yet they have no idea what's ahead of them, right? So today on the Feast of St. James, we kind of recall that scenario and how we've probably related or been, subject to the same kind of ignorance, and not a bad way. It's kind of a good thing. And so, there needs to be that kind of zealousness and almost even ignorance-ness of what you're getting into. Otherwise, you wouldn't do it. So James was the first apostle to be martyred. It wouldn't be the first martyr after our Lord, because that would be St. Stephen, but he was the first apostle to be martyred. In fact, all of them were martyred except for John, as the tradition goes. So he was the first one to be martyred. I don't know if he really knew that at this time. Can you drink the chalice I'm going to drink? I don't know if they understood that. Most of them, they didn't, really. None of them understood that our Lord was going to go to the cross, per se, even though he taught them. They didn't get it. So I don't know that he's like, "Yeah, I can be martyred. I'll be your first martyr." I don't know if he was signing up for that when he said, "Yes, everything you say we can do." So, but yet in that zeal, he got himself into it and then learned what it meant along the way. So that it really, this whole game isn't about me sitting at a place of prestige. It's all about me. Jesus says, "Hey, the great among you shall be your servant, and whoever wishes to be first among you should be your slave," right? The Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve, right? You got to learn that. And I think of it also, I would imagine the same for young people to get married. Let's do this. Probably not a real knowledge of the sacrificial element that goes into marriage, that it is about giving of yourself for the other. You learn that on the way, but you've already got yourself into it, so there's no backing out kind of stuff. I would say the same for the priest or the priesthood. I jumped in knowing that it wasn't going to be an easy ride and things like that. You have even James, I'm sure you have a general idea of where this thing's going. But if you really, if I really knew the challenges that lied ahead of me, if I had a vision of those when I entered in, I probably wouldn't enter. Oh, sorry, I can't do that, right? So there's a goodness to this youthful zeal, but there's also an ignorance that hey, this wasn't what I signed up for, but yet I'm in it, so now I got to stick to it. So I guess it's just kind of a method to the whole madness of following Christ in this sense, that we go all in great guns, but there's kind of a faithfulness that just rides it out. But in this scene, there's ultimately kind of a selflessness hey, it's not about me. It's not about me being served. It's about me serving. And as our Lord did, giving our lives for the ransom for many.